As we continue our special series, The Gunfight, some staggering numbers we've uncovered. In 2013, 55 Georgia children were victims of homicide. 19 of them died from gun violence. And today at 4, we focus on the children, the most vulnerable victims of gun violence, the littlest victims.
As CBS 46 This Morning anchor Gloria Neal shows us, they are the ones with the most to lose because really they have the most in life to look forward to.
A bullet. How can something so small change so many lives? After all, a bullet doesn't know who it's meant for or why it's being sent. What is known? Once it gets to its intended target, no one, young or old, will ever be the same.
Caller states they were fighting, one shot heard.
The youngest among us. Those victims, the ones with the most to look forward to.
My most valuable thing in life is being a mom. I love being a mom.
Those shootings are the hardest shootings to take.
If people knew the pain that it causes families.
It is quite upsetting that kids can put their hands on a weapon without even knowing the impact that that weapon has.
Eusebio and Lerona Phelps are unwilling members of a club no parent wants to be a member of. It was 2 years ago, November 2nd, that their son, Sammy, was killed by someone with a gun. Lerona says she remembers it like it was yesterday.
Finish this sentence for me. If I had known that that was the last time I'd speak to my child, what would you have said?
I think if I knew that that would be the last time, that I talked to Sammy. Oh, I said, Sammy, I will never forget you. Like I hold him in my heart.
According to the Justice Department and the CDC, children in the United States are 14 times more likely to die from being shot than in any other country. And that number is even higher for Black and Latino children. There were just over 32,000 gun deaths in this country back in 2011, and of those deaths, 591 were ruled accidental, and of those, 102 were younger than 18, and 50 of those were younger than 13 years of age. Those are the latest numbers the government has on record. Since then, there have been thousands of young lives lost, leaving families scrambling to find a new normal.
Do you ever think about what he would have been and how he would have looked on his wedding day? All those things.
I think about it all the time. It's amazing. Just last week, I was having a conversation with one of my clients, and she asked me, Lorena, what's the hardest part of all of this? I said, the thoughts of what could have been.
But gun deaths affect more than just the families.
A lot of times when officers get on the scenes of young children that are injured and hurt or stuff like that, it does affect them differently.
Lieutenant Canton with the Atlanta Police Department says that's one reason they started a peer group within the department.
Our peer group is just there so that way they have a fellow officer to talk to who's been there before, who's seen that before, who knows what that person's going through, and then can talk to them, help them decompress.
Lerona also started a group.
Mothers Against Guns and Gangs. And I had no clue, because there's no manual on how to start these type of things or how to do this. I had no clue, but I knew the more I actually put my hands into it, the better I felt.
He shot him in the back 5 times.
Angela Washington became a member after losing her son, Ryan. She says it doesn't matter if you have kids. The gun problem is everyone's problem.
We have to be more focused on our children and our next door neighbor children and my children down the street. I think that's where we lost it as a community.
When you pull that trigger, there is no coming back from that.
And even though police officers can't make the law, Lieutenant Canton says he understands why officers get frustrated when a child loses their life because someone didn't lock up a weapon.
Secure the weapons to protect your family. Do what you can to protect your children. Make sure your children, hey, they know what's there, and tell them what it's for. So that way they don't find it and think it's a new toy and play with it.
did not want to be a member of this club.
For more information about Mothers Against Guns and Gangs, as well as how to keep your gun out of the hands of children, go to our website, CBS46.com. Just click on the web link for The Gunfight. Gloria Neal, CBS 46 News.